Mr. Jordan? Ready to start?
Courtroom two is ready, Judge.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Public defenders are ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Coleman. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, you almost didn't see me this morning. I was having internet problems.
Yeah, I figured by Saturday that's what happened. Let's see. Mr. Jordan, I think, is with me, or Miss Champion. Oh, Miss Champion.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I saw him. I couldn't remember.
April, did you get my waiver?
Yes, I did, Mr. Coleman.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready to get started. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. This is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and the case has been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, so we are able to handle such matters as bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one has been made by the state at this juncture. I want to begin by reminding everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube. The SAP reset date is July the 11th, 7/11. That will be the reset date. Also, I want to remind the defendants that you have certain constitutional rights. You first have the right to representation. You should know who your attorneys are by now, and listen to them. You also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts or circumstances and the occurrences in your case can and will be held against you. State is here and they're listening, so listen to your attorneys. All right, deputies, who do we have first?
We're gonna start with position number 10, Mr. Turner.
Okay. This is 24 CR 004059A. Bernard Turner, charged at 1 count of battery. Pretrial. You're on mute.
45, 2018 probation, 2016 FTA, 2013 theft by taking felony, that's a conviction, and 2012 FTA. And he's wanted out of Clark County.
All right. State.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident did stem from allegations from June 21st of 2024. Officers Kimbrough and Morrow responded to 1112 Oak Knoll Terrace in the city of Atlanta for an active dispute. The victim, Miss Carlissa, Carliss Way, stated that she was sleeping inside her room when Mr. Turner came banging at her door and made forced entry into the bedroom. He accused her of stealing his phone. She said that he grabbed her by the hair, punched her, and pushed her to the ground. Officers interviewed Mr. Turner, who said that he was sleeping on the couch in the living room. He woke up and he realized that his phone was unplugged from the charger and missing. Mr. Turner then went inside Ms. Way's room, but advised that the door was already damaged. He did not damage it. He also said that while it was a verbal dispute, it did not get physical. Ultimately, the phone was not found in his possession. It was at a gas station, potentially taken there by Ms. Way's boyfriend. Officers did observe scratches on Ms. Way's face, possibly caused by someone's nails. Your Honor, despite the fact that he does have a number of cycles, and he is wanted out of Athens, Clark County, his last conviction was 2013. We're recommending a $1,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with Ms. Way, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
All right. And what was the level for the contact? No further
violent contact, Your Honor. And I would
Okay.
ask, at the appropriate time, you sound for the victim.
All right, Ms. Carlisa Way. Carlisa Way. All right, go ahead, Ms. Bronstein.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Turner is 63 years old. He is born and raised in Georgia. He moved to Atlanta as a teenager and has been here ever since. His family is in Atlanta. He is severely disabled. He is blind. One of his eyes is prosthetic. The other eye, there is glaucoma, and he can honestly barely make out shapes. He has had 2 heart attacks recently and has been hospitalized twice within the past few months for congestive heart failure. The circumstances around the phone and everything, I know this is just a bond hearing. It all seems very suspicious and like we need to look into everything. I asked Mr. Turner what his hold was for. It's for an old probation issue. I would ask that we do a signature bond to Clark County so that he can go deal with that. Also, I asked what all was going on, where he was at. I think it's a rooming house, but he can stay with his cousin here in Atlanta once he handles the Clark County matter. And especially because his criminal history is so old, that is the other reason we are asking for the signature bond to Clark County.
All right. I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail so that he can go to his hold in Clark County. I'm going to order a stay away from that rooming house at I think it was 1111. I didn't write down the address.
1112 Oak Knoll, Knoll Terrace.
Okay, stay away from that address. I don't know if he needs a one-time escort at some point in order to get his items from there. I will allow that. I don't know. And no further violent. I was going to say no further contact with Carlisa Way, but I think the state suggested no further violent contact.
I did say that, Your Honor.
Did you talk to the victim?
We have not been able to make contact with the victim at all, Your Honor.
Defense is fine with no further contact. I do want to
Yeah.
ask if the clerk's office, if that's the address they have, or if they have the cousin's address, if so I can send Ms. Champion a chat with the cousin's address.
I don't know. State.
One
Well,
second,
I
I'll check for you.
Okay.
I'll just send you a chat anyway with it. I'll copy and paste.
Okay. All right. So no further contact with Ms. Way. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that'll be it for now.
I'll send that chat right now.
Position number 8, Ms. Moss.
This 24 CR 004061Y. Alicia Moss charged with 1 count of affray or fighting. Pre-trial.
It's up first. Jail's direct.
All right.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is a dual arrest case with position 2. If we could do them both at the same time.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. ASG, is it Huddock?
Hudak, Your Honor. Yes, thank you. So regarding Ms. Moss, we actually have 26 cycles out of New Jersey. Although many of them are older, but in any case, these allegations do spring from an incident on June 21st of 2024 Officer Sharda Grace with the Fulton County Sheriff Office was in the location of Joseph E. Lowry and Parsons Street when she saw Miss Felicia Moss with an open beer container. She began to ask her questions about someone who lived in the area with an active warrant. While she was speaking to Ms. Moss began a verbal altercation with Miss India Bethia, position number 2, who was across the street. Moss poured out the alcohol and was told to go home by Officer Grace. She didn't listen. Both of them were given multiple verbal commands to stop speaking to one another and fighting with one another and to go home. They ignored those commands. They engaged in mutual combat and both were pepper sprayed. Your Honor, the state is recommending for Ms. Moss, because of her cycles out of New Jersey, a $1,000 surety bond, no further contact with India Bethia, position number 2, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
All right.
Your Honor.
Oh, Ms. McLeod, okay.
Yes, I represent Ms. Moss. We would be requesting a signature bond for my client. Even if she has some history out of New Jersey, it appears that this history is very, very old. My client is 44 years old, Your Honor. This is definitely her first arrest here in Georgia, and she's been living in Georgia for some time. Pretrial did not find any history on her. However, one of the reasons I'm requesting a signature bond for her is that she has twins. They're only 2 months old, and she is taking care of those 2 children. She is currently unemployed, so she's not in the position to post bond, Your Honor. So I believe under the circumstances and based on what is alleged, that a signature bond would be appropriate, and we are fine with no further contact with the alleged cross defendants.
All right. I will order a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. And no further contact with the cross defendant or victim, India Bethia. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that'll be it for now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Position number 2.
This is 24 CR 004066Y, India Bethea, charge of 1 count of affray fighting, pretrial.
I got 10 total. 2021 probation, 2020 FTA, 2020 probation, 2019 FTA, 2018 burglary conviction.
Your Honor, the state in this case is recommending a $1,000 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Moss, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay. And Mr. Coleman, you're representing Ms. Bethea?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd be requesting a signature bond for Ms. Bethea. She's 39 years of age. She does have an address here in Atlanta, Fulton County. She says to me that she's a 2008 graduate of University of North Carolina. She is presently employed doing house cleaning, so she has very little money to post for bond. I did not hear any convictions for any violence in her history. I will be requesting a signature bond.
All right, I'm going to order a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. I'm assuming she'll come back. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And no further contact with Miss Moss. I think that'll be it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Enjoy your Saturday.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.
Position number 1, Ms. Allen.
All right. 24 CR 004065D, Michelle Allen, charged with 1 count of simple assault, family violence, pretrial.
5th arrest, got open terrorist threats out of Cobb. That's from this year. 2015 simple assault NOLO, 2010 assault conviction, and a 08 domestic assault arrest.
Okay.
Your Honor, this incident happened on August 22nd, 2023. Officers were dispatched to 3519 Leonardo Drive in Atlanta regarding a domestic dispute. Upon arrival, they made contact with the victim, Chandwick Brown, who advised that him and his son's mother were arguing. It escalated. He got in his car to leave. The defendant poured a bottle of bleach on the driver's side of the car and started hitting the car with the bleach bottle. He got out of his car to try to stop her, and she threw a rock at him, but missed. Our office has been in touch with the victim. He states that everything has been fine since this incident occurred last August, and he would like to continue contact, and they've been co-parenting successfully. Judge, given her history, and this is now her fourth assault case, the state is recommending a $1,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with the victim, 2 days of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond.
All
And I
right.
don't expect he's here, but if the court can sound for Chandwick Brown.
All right, Chandwick Brown. Nope. All right, go ahead, PD Coleman.
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond for Ms. Allen. She is 36 years of age. She does have an address here in Atlanta, Fulton County. According to the solicitor, the alleged victim in this case does want to have contact with my client since they are co-parenting. She is a college graduate. She is presently employed, the mother of a 7-year-old child. This incident apparently happened some 10 months ago. It looks like her last interaction with the police was back in 2015, aside from the recent event in Cobb County. Again, I'd be requesting a signature bond.
All right, I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. At this point, no further violent contact with Chandwick Brown. And I guess that's all. We don't need to do a stay away, I'm guessing.
No.
Okay.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Honor.
that'll be it. Uh-huh.
Position number 9, Sweeney.
Oh, wait.
Okay, this is 24.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just want to say, I am going to be asking for a breakout for this particular one.
Oh,
But can
okay,
we do him last and I can just go to position number 3? See right there, they go.
okay.
Come on.
Position 3 is 24 CR 004067J. Steve, is it Jouet or Jouet? 1 count of simple battery, family violence, pretrial.
Second arrest, 2014 grand larceny out of Virginia. That was a conviction. And a resident of Maryland.
Your Honor, this incident occurred June 21st, 2024. Officers responded to the Embassy Suites at 290 17th Street. However, that's not the actual incident location in this case. The defendant had called the police to get an escort to get his things out of a hotel room, and that apparently happened and everything was fine. But then the victim in this case actually flagged officers down. She lives a block over. Her name is Amaya Hyde. She stated that she had called the police earlier that day to report a battery against that person, the defendant. She said that she and the defendant live together. They're also business associates. Things have not been working out. She essentially tried to kick him out and he spit in her face. Our office has been in touch with her. She stated that she and the defendant have lived together only a month. He moved here in late May. They are business partners. Their relationship then escalated to a romantic relationship as well. She states since he's lived here, there's been a DV history. He's assaulted her 3 times aside from the incident that happened in this warrant. She stated there's MH issues. He's not taking his medicine. She states he's controlling financially, verbally, physically abusive. She found out that there's cameras set up in the home that she was unaware of and has no access to. She states that she's in fear for her life. She is very concerned that he's going to get out of jail and try to harm her or her family. She obviously wants no contact at all and a stay away from her residence, which is 265 18th Street Northwest. Given his lack of community ties to Georgia, the danger that he poses to the victim, the state is requesting a $1,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from 265 18th Street Northwest, MHET, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and at the appropriate time, if the court can sound for Amaya Hyde.
Amaya Hyde? Nope. All right, go ahead. This is yours, PD Coleman.
Your Honor, I'd be requesting a signature bond for my client, Mr. Doe. He is 29 years of age. He has only been here in Atlanta for the last 2 months. He is a high school graduate. He also tells me that he attended school in England. It looks like his last arrest was back in 2014, so it's been some 10 years. He is not working, therefore he has no money to post for bond. Given him his limited criminal history, I would be requesting a signature bond on his behalf. I will remind the court at this time that these are just allegations against my client, and it appears that he was trying to do the responsible thing by calling the police to get an escort to get his belongings.
And Your Honor, pretrial also said he's a resident of Maryland as well. So that's not including that he just moved here a couple weeks ago and his living situation has already fallen apart. So the state would prefer a surety bond. And also, I see the victim on the line, Judge. Her camera is muted, but she's on the line, Amaya Hyde. Ms. Hyde, if you wish to speak, you can unmute your camera. You don't have to speak if you don't want to. Or unmute your microphone, not your camera.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, do you wish to speak?
Yes, I do wish to speak. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. I need to swear you in first. Raise your right hand. Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes,
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you in fear of Mr. Steve, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name?
yes, I am in fear of this person. I am in fear for my life.
Okay.
When you're ready, I would like to state why. I'm sorry.
Do you want to have any further contact with him?
No, no further
Okay.
contact.
This is a bond hearing, so I do understand why, and I've heard the state present your case. So I don't want to go into a whole hearing about that, but if you state you're in fear and this incident just happened yesterday, then we understand that. Assuming you all are not living together anymore,
No,
you have any children together?
no,
You're just business partners, it's stated?
yes,
Okay. All right. Any cross-examination by either counsel?
No, Your Honor. Again, we would just have no objection to a stay away and a no further contact.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to order the $1,500 surety bond. And with that surety bond, I'm assuming that the stay away is 265 18th Street. No further contact with the victim, Amaya Hyde. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that'll be it for now.
And I am asking that you would consider that you grant him a signature bond. Again, this appears to be his first arrest in 10 years.
All right, I understand he's not a resident of Georgia. And he's only been here for 2 months. So is he going back to Maryland? Is he staying in Georgia? Does he have anywhere to live? And I have a very afraid or scared victim as
Your
well.
Honor, it's also my understanding that the defendant is wealthy and can afford a signature bond.
A surety bond, you mean?
I mean, yes, I'm sorry, surety bond.
Okay.
Again,
All right.
speaking, my client, he's not working. He doesn't have any money to post for bond.
Okay. Well, because of the lack of contact and being from out of state, I want to make sure that he will be back or that he will stay here considering the situation. So I'm that's a very low bond, 1,500 surety bond with the other conditions. I'm gonna stick to the surety bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Position
All
number,
right, thank you, Ms. Hyde. You can sign off. I appreciate your time and coming on, okay?
Thank you. You
Thank
guys have a great day.
You too. Thank you. I'm sorry, which position?
number 6.
6, okay. This is 24 CR 0004064J. Manel Ivy, charge at 1 count of simple battery, 2nd count willful obstruction for law enforcement officer, pretrial.
Ninth arrest. Last arrest was on the 2nd of this month for suspended license. 2004. Carrying concealed weapon and a resident of Tuskegee, Alabama.
All right. State.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This incident took
Afternoon.
place on 6/20/2024. Officer C. Brown was dispatched to a fight in progress at 3727 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Officer spoke to the victim, who stated that the defendant came into her back door with a set of keys he had taken earlier in the week. She further stated that she was sitting on her bed when the defendant came into her room and began punching her in the face with a closed hand. She tried to run, but the defendant grabbed her and pushed her back on the bed. Once she was free, she ran into the apartment complex where she used a neighbor's phone to call police. When the officers arrived, the defendant ran out of the back door and failed to follow lawful commands of the officer when he was instructed to stop. The victim is a Letitia Wooden. I showed a warrant out of Alabama. Pretrial, did you show that same warrant?
Nah, they didn't attach the stuff this morning for some reason.
Okay.
I didn't see it. I'll look again though.
If there's no warrant, then the state would be asking for a $1,500 surety bond, no further contact with Letitia Wooden, stay away from 3727 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, no weapons, no alcohol, and no drugs while as a condition of this bond.
All right. Bronstein.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ivy is 56 years old. He is from Tuskegee, Alabama. However, he has been staying with his brother, who lives he's local. He's actually next door or in the same building as the complaining witness in this case, and he was planning to stay there, move to Atlanta to be with his family. Like I said, the family that lives in Atlanta. He did graduate from high school, some college. He used to work in construction, but fell off of a ladder, and that caused some serious disabilities. He lacks his use of hands, knees, fractured ribs, busted lungs. He gets a disability check of $628 per month on the first of the month. He does not have any money right now. He would not have any money to bond out until July. He is asking for a signature bond. He's planning to stay in Atlanta while this case is pending. And actually like stay here, because he told me that he came here to stay with his brother because he's moving to Atlanta initially.
And you have the brother's address?
Yeah, so the address is, he gave it to me. I need to look at the address written on the warrant because I believe it's next door. 1 second. Just want to make sure that, because he's been staying there, so I believe what he told me is correct. I just want to double check that the address is good.
Okay.
It says, yeah, 3727. Mr. Ivy, is it 3727 MLK Drive or 3724 MLK Drive, apartment C141?
Apartments. The apartment's up the street.
What?
His apartment is up the street down to a buckhead. Under the bridge. So it's about maybe a quarter mile to a mile away from where she stays.
Okay, so it's 3724 MLK?
No, now, 3727.
3727. Okay.
Down the road from there.
3727 MLK, apartment C141.
The state does have some concerns, just for the court's edification. That is next door to the victim, and there is some concern. Just thought I'd bring that to the court's attention.
Right, and they were in a relationship?
No.
No? This is just random?
They were friends with the issue. I've discussed the case with him. It's much more complicated, it sounds like, than what the state said. We do have defenses that we would investigate prior to trial, but no, they are not in a relationship. And he would not speak to her again.
All right, I'm going to order the $1,500 surety bond. Gonna order a stay away from the MLK address. I'm going to order, oh,
Oh, is
I'm
it
sorry.
1,500 total, or are you?
15, I'm sorry, yes, 1,500 total, 1,000 on the battery and 500 on the obstruction. And the stay away address is different, correct? Or did we just confirm what the address was for the victim?
The stay away address is her apartment. He is living in that apartment building.
In the same building? He needs to stay away and go stay with his brother. I guess hopefully he doesn't live there as well. while he's
That's
in
where the brother
bond.
lives.
Huh?
That's where the brother lives.
We're gonna need to find somewhere else to live, because he needs to be 200 yards from her, no further contact. And a stay away. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. 1,500 surety.
We're ready for position number 9.
All right, Ms. Champion, you can stop the